Okay, guys, we'll start now. So, Marc de Courville will present you Archos Connected Home Solutions. He is the CTO of Archos. So, I'll let him the mic.
Okay, thank you. So I am Marc de Courville, CTO of Archos, and what I will present today is our connected home solution. Well, it covers, so it's Android-based, but the presentation will cover more a global system solution, covering the accessories, the technology, so it goes a bit beyond Android itself. But I think it will be, in terms of technical level, I would say medium. Okay, just an introductory slide to actually highlight our portfolio of products. We do kind of fringe Android products, not only tablet phones. We've been doing a lot of fringe devices. But just before going into the technical presentation itself, let's see, or let me briefly introduce Archos, who we are and where we come from. Okay, so Archos relies on 3 strategic pillars. We come from Android tablets, and we've expanded recently on doing phones in July, not this year, but the year before. And we've introduced now a 3rd strategic pillar, which is the connected home solution and connected objects. And that we have launched it very recently, what I will present to you today, like around June or May last year. So let's just look back at Archos' history. We were the first in 2000 to introduce an HDD, a hard drive-based MP3 player. In 2003, we evolved and we make it a PMP MP4 player to watch videos. In 2009, we did the first Android tablets. Android tablets were not, it was not possible to certify, Google certify Android tablets because it was only about phones. And at the time of the iPad, we launched an Android tablet. In 2012, we did the first Google certified Android TV. More Android on the TV, because Android TV now means something else. It will come with the L release. In 2013, in July, we got into phones, as I mentioned, and then into home automation and connected home. So we have more and more strategic partnerships with the FFF. We are now at Free Mobile. That's fairly new. It's last week. We've been doing Android, so we have a strong team, R&D team, that has been involved in Android since the beginning. So we have done every Android version since 1.5. So we know them all, we've seen it evolve, and we are able to do our own certification of our own products. So we have a strong connection to Google Mountain View. Okay? So that was for introducing Archos. So now let's dive more into the technical topic itself of the presentation. So Archos Connected Home Solution relies on 4 essential elements. First, we have a tablet here that is the central piece of your home. It's a kind of your home avatar that is surrounded by Bluetooth Low Energy, a constellation of Bluetooth Low Energy accessories. So, and it communicates through the tablet through Bluetooth Smart. Okay? So these objects are linked to the tablet. What do we have currently? We have a small VGA camera. We have a presence detector that is an infrared passive sensor. We have a weather tag that measures the humidity and the temperature. And we have also a motion tag. What is it exactly? It's a BLE module with an accelerometer inside. And also we have a read sensor. So we can see when it moves, and we can see, for example, when it's stuck on the door, when the door opens, and it can detect. So all these sensors are linked to the tablet and can report their status and information to the tablet. And we have also one plug, one BLE plug that can do on and off, of course, but also can measure the energy that is consumed when you're plugging something to it. So the tablet is in a way the bridge to the cloud, okay? So we have a cloud service that I will detail a bit how it works. And we have also one application that can be on your phone so that you can directly be put in relationship with the tablet through the cloud and then talk directly to the tablet to actually see what's in your home, trigger some actions, see the status, receive notifications, okay? So you have a complete remote access to your home. So that is what we propose. So I'll try to detail technically how we made it work and what are the technology behind all these concepts. But first, because I mean Android and software, it's all about software, let's detail a little bit where we work to make it work. And actually, we have 4 pieces of essential software to make it work. First, we have the tablet Android firmware. So it's fully built by us. We have owned the full source code, so we heavily modified it. For the moment, it's based on Android 4.2, but it's an enhanced 4.2. I'll explain why. We have 2 major applications on top of it that are updatable through Google Play. We have what we call the gateway. It's a service that has a system privilege, platform certificate, that runs on the platform, that actually bridges with the Bluetooth stack. And we have one application, which is more the UI, called HA Center application, running either on the tablet and on the phone. And of course, we have embedded software on each of these accessories, and that runs its own firmware. Okay? So let's look at the system through the user interface. How does it present itself? So in terms of UI style, well, we kind of align with the current trends. It's flat UI, colorful, of course. There you see that we have all the objects that are represented in an activity. So that's the various activities with the temperature, the plug. We can see of the temperature and humidity curves here, the status of the motion sensor on the door, if your door is open, closed, power consumption. We can see the picture taken by the camera. We can edit programs. That is to say, we can link objects together to autonomously do some actions. So we do that through programs. We have a list of programs. We can edit the programs. I'll go through that, how it works. And we have the list of accessories where you can add new ones. And we have the history and also all the notifications to see what is happening in your home. Okay? The UI, because it runs also on phones and tablets, has to be adaptable to various screen layouts and screen sizes. So that's what we do. It does that gracefully. And this is the kind of look and feel that you have on your device. Okay? So let's talk about, I showed you the physical objects we do. They have a representation in every room. And so we can have defined different rooms, a living room, outside, or like a bedroom, or everything. So all the objects are represented there as tiles, and they can be reorganized, so through simple drag and drop. There you can see that it's been a screenshot on Android L, but and then you can move one object to another room very easily. Okay? So one thing we try at Archos is to do something extremely simple in terms of UI and how you actually interface to home automation. So we try to make it accessible to everyone, not only a geek that will do programming, but also what we call in French Madame Michu, or the average Joe user that we have. Okay? So here, just to come back, what we rely on normally, it's easy concept and classical concepts like grid view, view pager for the various rooms and to be able to slide. And also we have like a little menu on the left, so and it's a drawer layout that we use. So nothing really popping out of the extraordinary and the latest modern concept on Android. So I've presented the concept, but then you look at it and you say, I mean, how will it help me in my everyday life? Okay? So I like to quote 3 examples or 3 scenarios or free configuration that I use myself in my home. You know, I have some kids coming back from school. They come back from school, so they are older on their own, but it's always a peace of mind when I know they are back home. And I don't want to actively monitor them, like calling them every time. So what I do is on my flat entrance door, I have a motion sensor. When it opens, then it sends a notification on my phone. It's a ding, and I know they are back. So you can be a bit more intrusive and take a photographic picture of who is entering the room, but it's really perhaps a bit intrusive, but you can know that your kids are back home, or which kid is back home there. Another thing is at night, when I am going in my living room and it's dark, I don't want to stumble over things, okay? So what I put is I put a light on a plug and have a presence detector. And when I enter only at night, then the light switches on and I can see things and it remains switched on for 2 minutes. And so I don't have to manually switch on the light anymore. Another thing that was annoying me a lot at my home is I have roller shutters and I had to manually switch them off every night, going through all the home, and it was kind of painful. So now I have a program, and I can control them because we have 433 megahertz in the home, and say that at sundown, for example, just close the roller shutters. Okay? So this is this system can improve your everyday life, because in a way, technology is nice, but you need to know what it does for you. Okay? So how do you actually make these actuators and sensors react and combine and do things? We do that through programs or scenarios. We can define a set of rules to trigger action based on sensors input or time events, okay? And how can we do that? We have a program editor, and I'll try to highlight how you do that from a user-specific centric. So I'll go through 4 brief examples of how to do that. So on the program editor, there's 3 columns, major things. There's triggers, then it triggers what actions, and you can have a schedule for that, okay? First example is the roller shutter thing, okay? For example, I want to have all my roller shutters go up at sunrise, okay? So a trigger is at sunrise. What do? Is I open the shades that are 433, and then I want to do that in the week time, not on the weekend, because I like to sleep a little bit more on the weekends. Okay, so that's what you can do, first example. Second example, you want to push a notification to all your connected devices when it's too hot at home. So when temperature is greater than 30, you send a push Google Cloud Messaging notification to the devices, and you do that throughout the week. Okay, easy. So that's quite understandable. Another one, which is the door I talked about, to actually, but it's more to warn that in the night, if somebody enters your home, you want to know it, then if your door opens, you play a ringtone Acturist, for example, only at night, so that you know that somebody is entering and it wakes you up. It's more related to security, this one. Now, a more complex scenario, a trigger. Again, door is open. I'll take a picture, and I'll send a mail with the picture to someone known in Archos. And then I can do that only Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, not on the other days. And only between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Okay? So that was clearly so now you know what it does, okay? So now let's talk about technology and the technology bricks we have behind this system. There's a graph missing for some reason. So what are the ingredients we have behind, okay? We are heavily using connected objects. They are using Bluetooth Smart, special Bluetooth Smart, because we are transmitting at the maximum transmit power allowed by regulation, that is to say 10 dBm, and I'll say what it gives you. we support 13 objects always connected 24/7, which is not easy with BLE, and I'll come back to that. For doing so, we have we do extreme power saving optimization. I'll detail that again. We also have a problem because, in a way, BLE and Wi-Fi, they share the same antenna. And sharing the same antenna is horrible in terms of coexistence. I'll come back to that. So we have enhanced that. We have proprietary grad profiles in terms of BLE. We have encrypted link for security. And I'll go back on BLE on one slide to detail all what we've done. For remote connectivity, we have SDP Exchange, Google Cloud Messaging, we use STUN, ICE, we use SSL, TCP over UDP for secure communication, Protobuf, UPnP. In terms of cloud service, we have all our things hosted on Google Apps Engine, okay, to perform gateway registration. We relay notifications through GCM. We have also iOS notification support. And everything can be updatable over the air. So it's new technology, it's evolving, there are bugs, we are always committed to resolve the bugs. So we push always updates. We push updates of the firmware of the tablet through our OTA server. You know that there's two applications, the gateway service and the UI, it's updated through Google Play. In the gateway service, we embed all the objects, accessories, firmware that are updated through BLE over the air. So everything can be changed, updated, announced on our platform. Okay? Another thing is that we have Wi-Fi on the tablet, Bluetooth Low Energy, but not only these two. We've added also 433 support to actually be compatible with foreign accessories. So let's detail first how it works, okay? So here is the tablet that lies in your home. All the BLE accessories communicating with the tablet through Bluetooth Smart. The tablet can send orders to 433 actuators like plugs or roller shutters. And then we have internal communication from the gateway service to the home automation client app on the tablet. It's done through an internal socket through protocol buffer message exchanges. And that's how we do it. And when you're outside, we do exactly the same. We rely on protogov buffers, but the communication is secured through SSL over TCP over UDP link that links to your phone. Okay? So now let's see how we allow this peer-to-peer communication to the tablet from the outside. And next slide will detail that a little bit. Okay? So we do it, I mean, nothing really revolutionary. Okay? What we do is that, in a way, the phone first sends its address and target smart home ID. I want to connect to this tablet, to our Archos Apps Engine server. Then the Apps Engine server, what it does, it contacts the tablets through a Google Cloud message to send the phone address to the smart home. Then the smart home replies through HTTPS to send its own address. We use STUN and SDP. And then the server sends back to the Archos, sends back to the phone the smart home address. And then these two can connect directly together using SSL, ICE, UDP, and UPnP. You need to have a UPnP-enabled router to do that, to have peer-to-peer communication. And we have a direct, secure communication between the two. Okay? So this is the magic trick of remote connectivity. Then everybody is saying on the TV, IoT is evil, the Internet of Things is evil, it's not secure, you're exposing yourself, you don't know what you do. And us, we try to conceive really a secure system. And this is what we did in that respect, this is our contribution. So the first thing we've done is that first, since we have a tablet, there's no user data in the cloud. Everything is on the tablet, on the gateway at your home. So physically, your own data. Okay, we only rely on the cloud as an intermediary to do remote connection. Second, when you communicate, we use TCP over UDP for SSL secure links, so it's secure. From the tablet to the BLE accessories, we are using encryption, 128-bit AES, so that's the default connected mode of Bluetooth Low Energy, so normally it's secure. We have a secure pairing process of the objects, so it requires manual intervention. So you need to be close to the gateway, press on a button for 5 seconds, trigger the pairing. If it's not paired after 20 seconds, it goes back to sleep. And then you need to acknowledge on the gateway. So in a way, I mean, this is well mastered by yourself close to the gateway. The gateway knows the certificate of the server, so to prevent redirection to fake servers. So normally, you know that you're talking to Archos server. And we have a secure pairing between the phone and the gateway. How we do that? First, you can do it locally with a manual confirmation on the gateway, or you can do it remotely by delivering a secure token. So currently, we believe that our solution is secure and preserves the user privacy, which I think it's one also of the assets of what we propose. So I talked about software. I think it's fair now to talk a little bit of hardware and also to look at the technical challenges we've solved on the hardware. First, we have the technology of the wireless transmission between the connected objects and the gateway is Bluetooth Low Energy or Bluetooth Smart. Why is that? A lot of people could say it's not enough. You can't achieve a very large range. Zigbee is far better and anything. But we have studied quite hard BLE and Zigbee. And if you look at BLE, we have chosen BLE because compared to Zigbee, it really yields to a lower power consumption. If you look at BLE, it offers a predictive scheduled transmission over the air. It's a slotted TDD, okay? And in a way, it allows to the accessory to go quicker into deep sleep. So essentially, it's really lower power than Zigbee, okay? It's better than Bluetooth. It has a modulation with higher efficiency. We do push the transmit power to the upper limits, to 10 dBm, okay? We can achieve a large range with that. I'll go back to that. Our range is comparable to Wi-Fi, a little bit better, in fact. We did careful antenna designs so that we have good radiation patterns and so we can have a good range. And what we've done to make it work, and it was a huge work, is that we have patched heavily the Android Bluetooth stack on the tablet side. So in a way, our system could not run well on any of your tablets and phones currently, because really, I would say that Android is really improving on BLE, but it's still flaky at most. We are looking at all the patches that are committed by Droidcon, by Android, and I can tell you that the stack we have inside our tablet is not the 4.2 Android stack. And there's even parts of Android L inside, plus all our modifications. So BLE is not a given on Android yet. It will come, see it improving, but not for the moment. So here, we had a lot of work to do to increase the number of simultaneous connected objects, because normally on Android it's 4, there we have 13, and then it's a chip limitation internal buffers. And then we have ground 24/7 operation. It's not easy, okay? And the second contribution we did is to help this BLE Wi-Fi coexistence, and so we had to modify the firmware of the Bluetooth chip, and we did a lot of work. Just to highlight that, There's a little table of all the things, all our contributions. So it's tiny, you can read. And all the changes we've done, we are not keeping it for ourselves because, I mean, secret is not the way forward. So we have shared that with Google, Broadcom because we are using a Broadcom's chipset, and recently with Bluetooth.org. So all what we do is we try to give back to the community. So there, it's the issue, how we solved it. I don't want to go through it, but what's interested is where, I mean, is it solved on Android? There, I mean, you can see that we can have more accessories on Android L7, but we can go to 13. There, you have some things that are only solved on Android L that you don't have yet. There, it's still not solved. Solved Android L, solved in KitKat, and all these issues have not been solved. So all these were essential for us to make a working system. So it's not obvious. Then I heard a lot of remarks about range and why Bluetooth is so short range and it's not a working solution for the home. Our reply, and we did a lot of field testing and also range measurements, and there I felt the need that I would need to, in a way, include these technical slides that talks a bit about RF, about link budget and path loss to convince you or show you evidence that we do better. So there's two things that are interesting here is to notice is that compared to Wi-Fi OFDM solution, we have a gain in energy boost of 7.8 dB, which in a way makes us a range of a little bit higher when we are transmitting at 10 dBm than a Wi-Fi that is transmitting at 15 dBm, which is what you have normally in all your devices. Even normally it's more 13 dBm or 12 dBm in your phone. So we do better than Wi-Fi, first claim. Then second claims, everybody knows that Bluetooth range is limited because they are using a phone and a technology transmitting at 0 dBm transmit power. So we are transmitting 10 dBs higher. For software people, it's difficult to seize the sense of dBs, but hopefully there's some documents that can help you to seize what the dB means in terms of distance. So if you look at the path loss model that you have indoor, you can show that basically 10 dB means multiply by more than 2 the distance of the communication. Okay? So that's what we do, and that's why we have a good enough range for a home. We will not cover like a 600 square meter home, of course, like any Wi-Fi. There you will need repeaters, but for the standard home, it's quite good enough. Now, a special word on basically our minicam. Okay, so first, it's the only BLE VGA cam on the market. Okay, it's been optimized for low power consumption. In terms of battery life, our claim is that we can make more than 1,200 pictures transmitted over the air every 5 minutes and at 3 meters from the gateway with average size picture. Now I think we are able to reach almost 2,000 pictures. Okay? Of course, if you're farther away, if you have bad batteries, it will behave differently. If you have Wi-Fi interference, it will be a problem. So how did we do that? Internally, we take actually not only one picture, but 2 pictures to do the white balance and also to do the auto gain. And then we have an optimized JPEG compression matrix to optimize image size. We have a clever buffer management between the camera IC and also the BLE module. We optimize also the retransmission. We use retention. We use dynamic connection timings on the BLE to switch to a very fast data rate mode to a slow rate mode when it slips. That's not easy. And we've been doing some battery monitoring because when we take a picture, we draw a lot of currents, the voltage drops, and we need to still have the thing operating and not reboot. And we have non-acknowledged notification to reach maximum throughput. Okay, so now let's talk about, I talked about my accessories or Archos accessories, but we, of course, do not want to limit ourselves to our set of accessories. We are opening up to another range of accessories that you can find everywhere in the shops. It's 433 plugs, for example, or roller shutters. And we are compatible, so we've embedded on the tablet a 433 ASK transceiver. It can transmit and receive. And we've added this support to Android, okay? So we are now, with OK transmission, be able to be compatible with Dio plugs, Bliss, Phoenix, Auchan, Home Comfort. I'm not listing them. I mean, there's a lot of them. And how do we do that? Is when you buy a plug, you have a non-off remote. You pair, you make your plug learn, and then you can go to your tablet, add a new 433 accessory, and you have a learn and play mode. So you learn the on button, so the tablet records the signal, and then you're able to replay it afterwards. So that's how we are more like universally compatible with that kind of accessories. Of course, this learn and play does not work with rolling codes like Somfy and the others, but do not worry, we are adding that support. It's not that difficult, and it will be there as an upgrade soon. So I said opening up to external accessories, but why the people should not use our accessories? So we are not that protective. We are ready to open up the access to our BLE accessories. I was talking to someone from Intel that was very interested. So, I mean, for us, it's we can reveal how to talk to our BLE accessories. We can open up that even on our gateway at the GATLib level. We can also allow communication with our gateway service through, for example, intents. And also what we would like is to be compatible with other external applications. We are already compatible with Tasker. The next that will be considered, I think, is IFTTT, of course. And we'll see how we can make it happen. Then, of course, if you look at the landscape of home automation, what we can see is that there's a lot of standards, a lot of stacks, a lot of actors. And in a way, what we can observe is that it's still a fragmented world. So we think that in the future, this problem needs to be resolved from a user standpoint, because all the user, he wants to see only one door to this world, okay? So I think there's a great necessity to evolve toward a perceived universal solution for the user. So how will it happen? We do not know. We know that it's an early market. We try to penetrate that market early. We see that for us, there's two major players in this standard convergence that are rising. There's the Thread group that is not really known, but it's more Google Nest pushed, and of course the Apple HomeKit. Okay, so we'll be actively monitoring them, also talking to them to make our solution evolve to be compatible beyond what we call the Archos sphere. Our 433 initiative is a start, but we will continue. And also, another thing that is really important is that I do not believe that people like to program, even though we have done a lot of effort to make it simple to do rules and things like that in our interface. I think the key for the user is that the system learns by itself the habits of the user, propose proactively rules, and in a way be in kind of gain ubiquity through self-learning and auto-organization. That, I believe, is key, and we'll work hard on it as well. And that's, I think, the two major points that deserves improvement and that will be changed in the future. Okay, just before concluding my speech, what I would say is that it's just our start in a connected home solution, and we will not stop there. We intend to strengthen our product portfolio around two strategic axes for Archos in the future. First, security and monitoring, and second, comfort and energy management. I'm just showing briefly there what we'll launch soon. It's a connected weather station. It's composed of the internal unit, external unit, and the soil sensor. That has been showed at the IFA show, and it will be soon on the market for heating Christmas sales. So that concludes my talk, and I would be pleased now to take any questions, either in French or in English. I can speak French, no problem. We are a French company. So don't be shy. There's still 5 minutes to ask questions.
Hi, how many accessories can you have with the 433 megahertz?
Virtually, since it's not connected, you are just sending one order. I'd say as many as you want. Really, as many as you want.
And I have a second question. The firmware that runs on the accessories, is that based on open source software, and is that available?
No, so it's not open source. It's based, so what we have in the accessories is a custom Archos BLE module, but the module is a CC2541 from TI. So in a way, the stack is published by TI, but we've modified it. But what we can disclose is what registers you need to program and what you get through GET profile. We can detail that so you can use it quite easily. But they work in connected, always connected mode.
Thank you.
And also one thing to mention perhaps is the accessory, if it loses the connection, it will try to reconnect, but not to dry out the battery. After 12 hours, it will go to sleep. So if you lose your accessory, just press the button on the accessory and then it wakes up and tries to connect. That's how we save battery. We have no other solution.
Hi. Why did you choose for the tablet as a major gateway in the house? Because the tablet will never be able to leave the house, so because all the Bluetooth connections will be gone then. So
true. So in a way, so the tablet is in a way the representation of your house, and it's the way. So the objects themselves, being BLE, they have no direct connection to the cloud. So what we really favored in our vision is to be able to go into the house, to connect to the object, and the only way to do so was to have this gateway as the bridge. What we know how to do in Archos is, to have a cheap Android tablet that we know very well how to devise that. And in a way, with this tablet and all the 6 accessories, we can have like an overall solution of like 200 euros sales retail price. And in a way, we believe that it's not a big penalty to have a full Android tablet in your home. So, but you're right. It's not in the shape of the tablet. It's standing on your table. It's not something itinerary or mobile that you can take. But it's really. But it can do more than only home automation. That's why we put Android. But it's not meant for your entertaining device or looking at your email. You can. Well, I use it for looking at the meteo, for example, or the weather.
Hi. Can you recommend somewhere you can get accessories just to play around with this stuff? Like cameras? Are there cameras that will connect with Bluetooth with a standard API just for playing with?
Okay, so for the moment we have only our mini camera.
Yeah.
And we know that there's plenty of Wi-Fi cameras like Foscam and things like that are existing. We plan to integrate the support inside our application, so it needs to include. But your question was more about
just for testing or playing. Can you buy just the cameras and write your own code?
No, not for the moment.
Okay.
But we plan. So if you want to buy our little camera and use it with your own, we can open up. I mean, it's standard Bluetooth low energy, so we can teach the developer community how to connect and use it. We plan to do so.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I've played around a bit with the Texas Instruments sensor tag, and which is I think Poly shares the same chip as at the bottom, and I found that the range was still sometimes didn't reach from through thick concrete walls. I was wondering whether you've had any thought about using some kind of a repeater that kind of talks Wi-Fi to your tablet. Just a little box that talks Bluetooth on one side and Wi-Fi on the other.
So internally, we have studied ways to enhance the coverage. I think there's 2 ways to do it. Either, so 3 ways I've been thinking of. So we have no product for the moment to answer that. But I would say that if I had to do it myself, there's either you can do like, so you can do a Wi-Fi BLE bridge and use that as a range extender. But it relies on the fact that your home gateway is here, your Wi-Fi router is at another space, and then you can extend a bit the range. Another way would be to rely on power line and to put a power line plus BLE to cover another island. I think would be more reliable. And the third technology we are thinking of is CSR. They are trying to push mesh technologies of Bluetooth Low Energy. And what we could use, of course, doing mesh is always power consuming, and that's a problem for our accessories. But for example, with our plugs, we could use our plugs as relays there. It would require a change perhaps on the BLE stack that is inside, but we are looking into it. It's still prospective work, so nothing committed, but of course we are looking at these kind of technologies. Just on time, I think. Another question?
Except for the custom hardware like BLE on the 400 3 MHz emitter, what are the points of making a custom firmware?
A custom firmware on what?
On the tablet.
On the tablet, yeah. Okay, yes. It's
is there any other point? I see them.
So first, what have we been customizing? There's a lot of things that we changed. But just to keep it simple, if we had a standard BLE stack on the tablet, it would never work. Okay, so we had to patch the Bluetooth stack, and that requires, and then we changed also the Wi-Fi firmware of the chip, and then we also provided the deep links between the gateway service and the camera of the tablet, because we can use the camera of the tablet, so we have to bypass. There's a lot of hacks that we did to make it work. So yes, it was indeed necessary to modify unfortunately, the tablet firmware.
Do you have anything to track individual users so that you'd know if someone's home or not, based on their cell phones?
So there's 2 ways you can sense that someone is at home. The first way is this motion detector that you put on your door to see if the door opens, but you don't know if somebody enters or gets out. Then you could do a picture and then do visual processing. But the easiest is that we have like what we call a presence detector, which is a peer sensor. It's infrared, so it's an infrared sensor that sees if you are passing by. Of course, it's not, you can put one in every room, but if you put that in your hallway, you can sense if there's presence and then do something. So for example, we have also a little siren. What we could do is when you get out of the home, you can switch on a meta rule about security, and if your peer sensor detects presence, it will make the siren go. And so yes, we can detect presence.
What I was talking though was about detecting presence of people within the family.
Within the family.
If
okay,
everyone
yes,
in the family
yes.
has a smartphone, then you can see by their Wi-Fi connection that it's
true.
Someone from the family, not
okay,
someone
so we
external.
could detect whose MAC address is connecting, right. Do a label on the MAC address to say this is somebody. I was thinking also along that line, there's something quite popular. We we were thinking about having a BLE beacon, something like that you would tag like on somebody, and that's your, on, for example, the bag of your kids, so that you know that the bag of your kid is at least back, perhaps not your kid, but some things like that.
Okay.
But for the moment, we don't have that solution. But we could add this Wi-Fi stuff fairly easily, yes.
Thank you.
Any other question? No? Okay. Thank you very much.